Hello everybody, I'm Rodney.
And I'm G.
And we're here to talk about more of our wonderful travels. And I'll tell you, I think I've been traveling all summer long.
Which we have.
Yeah, it was a lot. So what are we talking about? We got a lot of videos to do to catch up with all of our adventures from the summer. What are we talking about
today? We're going to be talking about the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota. So we'll start by saying that it has two units. It has the north unit and the south unit. So we stayed in Dickinson, North Dakota. That made our home base. And then to drive to the north unit, it was about an hour and 10 minutes. So let's talk about the north unit.
Well, the drive up there's a lot of construction going on up there. So it wasn't the easiest drive. And it's a 2-lane road. It's not like this major highway with plenty of room. And that may be why they're doing construction to make it easier to get up there. Okay. You know, we were at you'll learn more about our vacation later. It was a long, basically, 2-week vacation. And this was at the very beginning of it. So we were really excited. I'm glad that we did these things at the beginning, because by the end of the trip, this was probably one of the least favorite things that we did. So I'm glad we did it early.
But I'm glad we did the north unit first and then the south unit, because the north unit is okay. The south unit, hands down, is 100 times better than the north unit. So I'm glad we did bad and then good and bad, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So let's talk about the north unit.
Well, everybody says not to skip it, and I'm glad we didn't skip it. You know, it was interesting. You can tell from the outside, the very, very primitive type visitor center, even very small.
Oh, there was nothing.
Yeah, and some of the animals you'll hear about, you ask questions and you find out, okay, like what's the type of bighorn sheep or whatever we look for?
There were none.
Well, then you talk to them and find out there's so few of them, your chances of seeing one are remote. However, we did get a lot of good views of bison on that one.
A lot of bison.
It was a nice start to our trip.
And they were we went in June, the beginning of June of 2026. And the first week, and there was hardly anybody there. I guess everybody went to the south unit because there was nobody in the north unit.
It was cool. I mean, I had a jacket and a hoodie.
Well, the weather was great.
I felt fine, but we were fine with that.
So we saw a few different kind of mountain formations. There was one that had these cool like balls that come out of the mountain. I'll show you some pictures of that. And they have these cool balls that you can climb on the side of the mountain. But there were bison. Yeah, bison was the most that we saw. We saw bison everywhere.
Yeah, bison. Did we see prairie dogs in that one?
We did see a few, but we saw more on the south unit. So. Let's go over and talk about the south unit.
Well, yeah, there's really not a lot more to say about them. I'll tell you this about the north unit. You drive all the way in and turn around and drive out. This is not a circular road. It's just a straight shot out there. Everything was open. We had no trouble accessing everything and then coming back out. And there's some nice views of the Badlands.
We did some hiking.
I would not go out of my way to go there, because it does take like an hour 15 to get up there and then an hour 15 back to any place close to civilization.
All right, so the south unit, as soon as you get into the visitor center, in the back they have Teddy Roosevelt's cabin.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
It was interesting, and you could go inside. They had a plexiglass to protect things, but I don't think most of those pieces were necessarily original for him. I think a few of them were, but it would tell you that some of the others were just from that time period. Oh. But I enjoyed that. There's a nice start to it.
And the drive from Dickinson was about 40 minutes, and it was a much nicer view than the other one.
Yeah.
When we got there, we did a lot of hiking. We did a lot of like peak hikings. There was a lot of peaks that we did hike to. Beautiful. There were so many flowering cacti. I had never seen. I saw some in peach and some in yellow. So it was pretty to see these flowers coming from the cap.
You know what my favorite hike I think was, though? Because I'm more into historical stuff than G. I enjoyed hiking out to the old eastern entrance of the park, which is now the building is still there, where the sign was and everything was still there.
And it's a flat hike
Yes.
there from the parking lot all the way to where the old entrance used to be. You'll see here in the video, it is completely flat. And you get there, but it was pretty cool to see the old entrance. Now we saw a much more bison on this.
A lot of
We even
bison.
caught one pooping on the side of the road.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that was funny.
Doing it down or no?
Yep, go ahead. Another bison. This is a
He's
big
just
one.
stopping there, looking at that car coming. Oh, he's pooping.
Oh, he's pooping. Oh, yuck. Man, he's pooping a lot.
Did you get on video?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he's looking at us, so be careful. We also saw the entire, they say that there's a prairie town that you can go to, but if you're there at the South Unit, you don't need to go to Prairie Town because they have an entire area for prairies. And
The prairie dogs.
the prairie dogs. The most surprising thing is that they bark.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And
Little
now
bark.
I'll show you the video of them barking. It's pretty cute to see them bark. They're so tiny and
I
so
enjoyed
cute.
that.
There were a lot of prairie dogs.
I didn't think, honestly. So the thing is you have to stay hydrated out there, obviously. But none of the hiking is terrible. I mean, where was it that we went and we did some serious hiking? But I didn't find any of the hiking that we did in Roosevelt to be really, really difficult. I mean, there's not like any really hard inclines. Now, they do have some much longer trails you could take, and it tells you how they join together and where you can go. But
we did go on one that we didn't read about. It was just, we stopped on the side of the road and decided to climb it, and it was just stairs and stairs and stairs and stairs. And that was a little tiring because we did not expect to do that one, but it was nice.
Yeah.
And then they also talk about the wild horses in the South Unit, and they're very elusive to find them. So as soon as we got in, we saw all the way over there in the valley.
There's like 8 or 10
8 of them just going across, but it was far away. And we did the whole day in the South Unit, and all I wanted to do was actually see the wild horses. And sure enough, as we are heading towards the exit,
yeah, you got 2 of them.
Two of them right there eating grass. So I got some pictures of the 2 wild horses.
You know, I was thinking about the hiking. There was the one peak we had to climb up pretty good.
Yeah.
That was like the second highest point in the
the
park.
second highest point, yeah.
But there was some beautiful scenery up there, beautiful views.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed all of that. I don't find that these Roosevelt Park was as scenic as some of the things we did out in Utah, to me. But it was very beautiful scenery. Nice. A lot of wildlife.
South Unit is better than the North Unit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a nice long loop. It's about 36 miles. You take a nice day. We took our lunch. And there were actually 1 or 2 places to stop and use the bathroom out there too. So like you get halfway around and they had a couple of bathrooms set up,
But in the South Unit, we didn't see many picnic areas. So we ate lunch. We just stopped the car.
We ate from our car. It was fine. No problem.
But it was really nice. And again, we went the first week of June 2026, and the weather was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it started off a little cool like
gorgeous.
It was the previous day, but by the end of the day, we had taken off our hoodies and jackets, and it was very pleasant, very nice. Beautiful.
So we most likely would never go back.
Yeah, and
but it was nice.
We have to explain. So I'm glad we took this trip, and we enjoyed it. There's places you go in your life and you're like, I could go back there again. Like Maine. I love Maine.
And the Grand Tetons.
Yeah, places like that, we could go back. But there's other places you go and, oh, that was awesome. Check it off your list. No need to go back. And for us, you're going to find that's pretty much this whole region for us.
Yep. This is
we also, though, need to talk about one other little thing with this is the little town of Medora. You can't go to Teddy Roosevelt Park without going through Medora because the entrance is right there. And you hear a lot of publicity about Medora, great place and so forth. What was your opinion or your take on Medora?
Well, I expected a lot more than what it really was.
I did too because of all the hype that we had.
So you go there and it looks very Western, and there's a cute little shops on the side of the road, and then towards the end towards the right side of the end is where they have the little lodges where a lot of people, where all the entertainment is at. But the city itself,
Yeah, there's little walk around places. Don't talk about the parade yet. There's little walk around places. There's a couple of places to stay, and I'll tell you, these lodgings are not cheap. Those are, when we were looking at where we were going to stay, they were among the most expensive places because they're right there at the entrance to the park, obviously.
That's why we sit in Dickinson.
And so I think that the whole experience of Medora, for me, was overhyped. But I mean, it's a fine little town to get out, walk around in, find a place to eat, shop for some local stuff. Now, this is not just for Medora. I was disappointed with most of the shops that we had in this entire trip, except for one. So this is not a kick on it. It was just, to me, selections are not great right now out there.
They don't have any souvenir types.
Right.
And I'm not a souvenir type thing, but they didn't have souvenirs.
You can find, if you're into jewelry and you want to get local jewelry and stuff like that, that's what you could find.
Okay, so let's talk about the parade.
So this parade, we saw it advertised when we first got into town. We're like, oh, it's Flag Day. There's actually a Flag Day parade.
And
we're
we
like,
got
okay,
there right
awesome.
on time.
We got there. We got through the whole park. We came out. It was in time for the parade.
Everybody's out.
Said they put aside like 2 hours for the parade. It lasted maybe 35, 40 minutes.
I think it lasted like 15. But anyway.
The parade was horses. And it was people riding their horses.
With the flags.
Pulling their horses, or they had horses pulling a carriage. There was no band. There was no music. There was no noise. The only thing you would hear...
There wasn't even a DJ, like a spokesperson.
All the people lined up on the side of the road. All the shops closed during the parade. And we're all lined up, and the only thing you could hear were the clip-clop of the horses. And the only thing you saw were the horses, and they would stop occasionally and defecate in the road, as a horse will do. And that was it.
It was so sad. Like, there was nothing to make it sound like a parade.
The people there were so proud of it, and we kept waiting like, man, is there a band? Is there like
cheerleaders, something?
And I told her, I said, man, this town needs some Latinas to come here and put some energy in it,
So then after the parade is over, which to me was like 15 minutes, even though they put it
out
out 2 hours.
Long.
We go to one of the shops, and there was a sign that said closed. And I go, oh, I wanted to go in there. And I go, oh, I guess it's closed. But the lady was right outside. She goes, oh, no. We
just
closed it for the parade.
Oh, man, I'm so glad. With all of that hype and confusion, I don't know how she could have run a shop during that parade.
But anyway, other than that, I mean, it was. Okay.
if you don't like a parade, you should walk against it, and it speeds it up. Oh. It's like going through fast motion.
All right, so that's it. That's it for North Dakota.
That's all about
Theodore
Teddy Roosevelt and the town of Medora. Now, one other thing. Medora does have this show that they promote. Big time musical show and cookout and all that. It looks pretty neat. We didn't want to do it. We didn't really want to schedule the time for that. We had not driven there for it. So, if you wanted to have the full Medora experience, then you would want to book the show, go to the cookout they have before the show, and enjoy all of that. We didn't do that.
All right. Stay tuned.
Tune in soon. We're going to be talking about flying into Fargo and driving across North Dakota. We're going to be talking about Devil's Tower. We're going to be talking about our adventures around Rapid City. We're going to talk about the Badlands and
everything else that we did in between.
Things in South Dakota. So we got a number of things to catch you up on.
All right. Bye.
Bye.